Hi everyone, long time no see. I am finally back. As you can see, I have moved. After Pixar's Luca came out last year, I truly didn't think that another movie will be able to top that movie as a coming of age story told in such a vibrant way. It was so beautiful to me. I loved it so much. Every time I think Pixar will not be able to top what they just created, they go around and come up with such an amazing personal story. Those characters are so well crafted that I felt and I lived with those characters. So when Turning Red was coming out, I knew I have to see it. It's about a red panda, and I thought that's adorable. I'm usually kind of wary about stories about Asian culture because I just saw Raya and I didn't really like that one because it was kind of too many backgrounds, culture mixed into one. And Turning Red is actually the opposite of that. What they instead did was they crafted a very specific story about a specific group of people in that moment in time. So it's about this Chinese Canadian girl who lives in Toronto. The story takes place in 2002 at the height of boy band mania and neon colored hair clips. I screamed so hard at multiple times during this film because it was so adorable and I really felt called out by multiple instances in the movie. The hair clip, to the dramas they were watching, to the way they were talking about it, to the way they were eating little dumplings. The film felt very personally crafted with a lot of love poured in and a filmmaker who had a clear vision about what she wanted to do with the characters. I felt so called out by this film. Is this what representation feels like? Is this what teenage boys in New York feels like every time a new Spider-Man movie drops? I mean, I just feel so excited for you guys. This is an excellent feeling. I'm so happy that you guys get to experience that because, as these films get more diverse, I used to say that representation doesn't matter that much, but when you felt it for the first time, then you realize that how special it is and how relatable the story becomes to you and how much more engaged you are. So it's an excellent feeling. I'm so happy for you guys. This film was not just made for me per se, of course, because then the movie will not make any money, but it's also made for those of us who have stayed up all night trying to fantasize about our crushes, draw horny pictures of us kissing and, just making fan art of people that we ship. It's about the feeling of your heart rushing when you hear your favorite boy band sing to you and it sounds like they were singing directly to you. It's that feeling of being locked in time and you feel like you and your friends are invincible. You can do anything in the world because your best friends are with you. It's about those couple of years when absolutely everything went insane and you are just trying to make sense of it all, and your parents are just embarrassing you at every opportunity they have. Due to the specificity of telling an Asian story, I can also see the Asian influence, and namely anime, in this movie. Some of their animation styles, such as their exaggerated reactions, are very reminiscent of maybe 19s and early aughts anime where the eyes are very, very big. Think Sailor Moon or Sakura Card Captor. And of course, the giant red panda in the room, which is very obviously a tribute to Totoro, I think, because it's also fluffy and friendly and it doesn't look any way scary. I have no doubt that the creator grew up with Ghibli just as much as I did and just as much as every else kid did. While the film doesn't truly leave Toronto, the movie still managed to take the audience on a journey and in its excellent world building that make the world real to us. You best know that when Nobody Like You came on for the first time, I was screaming and howling just as much as May did with the rest of her friends. And when they did the Backstreet Boys move, my soul just left my body. I was 13 again, singing, screaming in my bedroom. What I'm getting at is that this film has a lot of great feelings to it, and we should all be allowed to feel those feelings once in a while. There was this one scene that made everybody think that this movie was an allegory for getting a period for the first time, and they point at the scene early on in the movie when May turned into the red panda for the first time, and she screamed at her mother saying, "I'm a big red monster," which was hilarious because it has two meanings because she's literally a big red monster. If I have to say one bad thing about this movie, it will be about the name of the main character, and that's Mei-Lin Lee. Mei-Lin is such a basic go-to name for a Chinese character, and I see it so often as the go-to name, and the name itself is kind of old-fashioned, and I don't see a kid from like 2002 being called Mei-Lin already. And of course Lee is like the most common last name, so they were really like, let's pick the most generic Chinese name with the most generic last name and call it a day. So yeah, maybe we can do a more creative name next time. That would be great. Finally, in general, it was a delightful watch. I love the fact that the panda was not something that she had to be afraid of. It was something that she had to gain control of, and actually got pretty good at gaining control of it. And it was something that was beloved because it's adorable. Hello. Because let's admit it, it's a pretty cool superpower to have. It flips the secret identity genre thing on its head, that people will be in danger or unhappy or whatever because she needs to live it alone, but she kind of revealed her panda to everybody immediately. And I hope that more people will just embrace their weirdness, much like she did in the movie, and I hope that that's what we learn from it. Maybe the film could have delved a little bit more into the intergenerational family trauma and struggle that each family may have had with their red panda, and maybe then we understand why they want to hide it so badly. Because like, if I look at it like a tiny little red panda, I think it's like a pretty cool power. But I'm also okay with the film not being too deep, just about having crushes on boys and wanting to dance and trying to go to a concert without your parents' approval. We've all been through that, and if you're currently going through that, promise you it gets better, and someday you will miss those days as well. It is a delightful tribute to Toronto, and I feel like I learned so much more about this vibrant multicultural city, and I hope to visit it one day. That's all I have to say about this film. What did you think about the movie? Did you hate it? Did you love it? Leave a comment below and let's start a conversation. In the meanwhile, stay safe, wash your hands, and I'll see you next time. Bye!